Hello, and welcome back to Strategy Snacks. I am so excited because today we are joined by Kristin Lawton, who is an expert in all things brand and marketing, and who is actually a marketing mixologist, which is my favorite title and term maybe ever. So I'm going to hand it over to Kristin to do a quick intro and to tell us a little bit more about who she is, what she does, and how she helps business owners.
Yes. Hi, Frenchie. Thank you so much. I love the strategy snacks. So I'm Kristin. I am the owner of District Brand Bar. I call myself a marketing mixologist because I just really love mixing up the best strategy for business owners. And I always think every brand should have like its own cocktail. But I really help build the brand and marketing foundations for business owners and solopreneurs. And set up those systems and routines so that marketing their brand is like very effortless. And when they take it on and they have everything set up and streamlined that they need.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I took your quiz, which I guess we might link to.
I think we
Anyways, now that
will.
I mentioned it, we
Yep.
will. And when I took your quiz, I think I was shaken.
Yes, I'm a shaken too.
I love it.
So yeah, that means we really lean into relationships, and love are much more like outgoing and engaging, and we create marketing strategies that are based on that. But yeah, I will share all about that in a bit.
I love it. I love it. Cool. Well, let's just roll into it. So, the first thing I really want to hear about is what was kind of one of the most important, or I want to say iconic or milestone moments in your business journey to date.
Yeah, I think it may be a little simple, but also it just like really important for business owners. But I think it was really when I got that first client that like came to me, not from like a referral or someone that I
Mhm.
knew, but that had like gone through my client journey, like found me on Instagram, grabbed my lead magnet, like, and then, did my like one-on-one service. And like the feedback was, I love your brand, I love your framework, and like you basically, like, I have called in that right ideal audience. I think anytime that happens, it just feels like so good that like everything is working the way it should. So yeah, I mean, there's obviously like lots of little wins, but to me that's like when I feel most proud.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny, people come on here a lot and they talk about how something is like simple, but I actually think those do feel like those big moments.
Yes.
And thank God, because like, we don't get to have that many like weddings and,
Right.
graduations and
Right.
like, moments in our lives. So it's like actually really beautiful. I think that the moments that stand out are actually like kind of
I
more
Yeah,
nuanced.
I do love that, like, and while it's like important to like, I guess, for some people to like speak on a big stage, or I'm not really a vision board person that's like, I want to speak here, I want to write a book. Um, but I want my brand to speak to others and to like, they feel like it's fun, and what I do can be easy for them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. I love that. Okay, so on the flip side of that, what
Yeah.
has been kind of one of the harder business lessons for you to learn as you've grown and evolved?
Yeah. And I think the flip side is like the opposite of like where, when I started out, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do what other people have done. And so the thing
Mhm.
that I like bought into is like passive income. And it's so easy to just sell a low cost product and you just run ads and then you become a millionaire and you don't actually have to bring on clients. I mean, it was the whole thing that I bought into. And I focused like the first part of like the first 6 months of my business of like creating, products. And like one of them I am like very proud of. Like I use it all of the time. I have so many people that use it, but I didn't have a I didn't have anything next for people to do. I wasn't actually making money off of it. Like there were so many things, and it was just I'm copying what other people are doing, and I didn't actually think through and build out those brand and marketing foundations for myself, even though I'm the expert at it and I have 20 years coming into this. And I feel like I wasted time and money, which, is just part of the game. But
Right.
it is something that when I hear people like lean into the passive income, I'm like, nothing is passive in this business world.
Totally. Oh my gosh, I just like, I feel that so hard. That also, like, your exact experience is actually one of the reasons that I started doing what I do, because I was in some programs in my early days
Hmm.
of this. And I noticed like all these people whose business was like not in the place to actually be,
Right.
selling $200
Yeah.
courses because you need a really big audience or what have you.
Yes.
We're trying to play that game. And then we're so much time and energy in like the
So much.
funnel and the this and the that. And I've actually like over time realized, and this is counterintuitive to a lot of people, I'm like, you actually kind of have to start higher ticket. And then as your audience grows, you can
Hmm.
potentially explore the like passive income route, which like, passive
Right.
caveat,
Yes.
not
Big
passive.
caveat. No, totally. I had a zero on my email list. I had friends and family on my email list.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I can sell to people that don't know me. I haven't like actually nurtured anyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. My sister bought something that I made. Two people bought it, my sister and someone else, and like bless her. But I
That's
actually
nice.
think I just started crying when she bought it because I felt like so pathetic,
Yeah,
Nobody's buying my thing, and my sister's like throwing $40 at me just to be nice.
I
Like,
know. And I like had gotten my husband all up on, in on this and just that like, this is gonna work, babe. Like just, let me focus on this.
oh my gosh, yeah. I okay. Well, I'm glad that you learned the lesson and that
Yeah.
now you are thriving. And my last question for you is like when we think about, our own business strategies, what is one kind of strategy snack that you want to share with our listeners?
Yeah. So it really is about having a streamlined client journey. And
Mm,
I focus in on know, like, trust. It feels like this like gimmicky word, but if you take it as a path where you're like, okay, how are people getting to know me? And then how are you engaging and getting that, like building that relationships, they like you. And then where are you selling? And you streamline it to
hmm
just like two or three channels, traffic sources that people are getting to know you, and one or two that you're engaging with them, and just one that you're selling, like you can make such a difference. And I like to throw everything back to cocktails or mocktails or whatever, but it is like if you take, it's the difference between like a Negroni, which I think is like the perfect cocktail, but three ingredients, very simple. Like you can put your own twist on it, but like it's straightforward, easy to make, delicious, not time consuming, versus like some, I don't know, like on one scale, like a Long Island iced tea that just has like so many flavors thrown in, or you're like adding so many like garnishes and embellishments to a cocktail that it takes you so long to do and you're not really getting anything out of it. Like it just the same with marketing, like you need it to be streamlined, and only once like it feels really effortless and it's working do you like add on to it.
Yeah. Yes. 1,000%. I love that. One of the things, okay, so I for a period was doing this like kind of faux freebie on with like ManyChat on Instagram. And okay, when in like the therapy world, I don't even know which kind of therapy, but when you're anxious, they tell you to do like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
And so it's kind of like look at 5 things you can see, 4 things you can
yeah,
hear, and like, you go through the senses that way. And it's supposed to be very grounding. And I was like, I want to copy that except for like
I like
business.
that.
So when you're
Yeah.
feeling like totally overwhelmed by your business, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Yes.
1. Anyways, as you were talking, I was like, I feel like you could do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for like
I
your
love that.
brand.
Yes.
So that's
That's a great
next.
idea. But I do think,
I
as you, it's like, the funnel, I kind of think of it more as a journey because it's not really like super linear or whatever, but um you just want everything to be simplified. What you're working on is simplified so that the marketing activities and how you're spending your time is like easy and not overwhelming, and that it's so easy for the person and your customer to know like, okay, what's the next step, where I'm hearing from you. And if you're everywhere, you're not really going to call them in the way you want.
totally,
Mhm.
totally. Amazing. Well, Kristen, thank you so much for sharing your
Yeah.
wisdom today. Where can our listeners find you, follow you, and connect with you?
Yeah. Well, we talked about the quiz, but it's called What's Your Signature Brand Marketing Style? You end up with a cocktail style. So you're either on the rocks, shaken, stirred, or neat. And it's really about leaning into your personality and what makes marketing your brand feel really organic and natural and authentic. So that you're not wasting your time on something that is just never going to work because you're not feeling it.
Mhm.
So go take that. So districtbrandbar.com/quiz. Uh, Once you do it, take the quiz, come over to Instagram at District Brand Bar and tell me your result. And I can share more tips and Yeah, it's really fun. A really fun quiz also.
It is a really fun quiz. I love it. I love it. Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. To
Thank
all
you
of
for
our
having me.
listeners, make sure you go take the quiz, connect with Kristin, and we'll be back with more soon. Bye, everyone.